Hari Om. We'll start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are examining the nature of Brahman, and Brahman is essentially the whole universe itself is nothing but that which is different from Maya Kruta Sarva Bedam Nirastam. So when I negate everything, that which is generated by the Maya, that means all Vedas, that means Sajati Vijati Swagata Veda Rahitam, and if I eliminate all differences of everything, elimination is only Namarupatmakam, that means only names and forms and differences only at that level. When I look at in and through the names and forms, ignoring the names and forms, ignoring the differences, and look at the very substratum of the whole universe, you think nothing but Brahman only. And it is beyond jnana, beyond the knower, knowledge, the triputi, the triad, which in every experience have. Therefore, Brahman is not an experience of Brahman, and I have to experience Brahman. People say it's not an experience, but it is a clear understanding that I am that Brahman. So, because it is jnatru jnana jnaya sunyam, it is the independent of, it is beyond the knower known knowing, or knower known and knowledge itself. Pramata, Prameya, Pramana, Atiriktam, that is above all that, and that is essentially Keval Akhanda Chinmatram, pure consciousness, because of which I am conscious of this. So in every knowledge I have to be there, the consciousness has to operate, but we are paying attention to the Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. Only names and forms are objective world I am paying attention to, ignoring from the very basis in which I am able to see, and also how the world exists also. All that has to be understood through Vedanta. So, Aheyam Anupadeyam Manovak Agocharam. It is impossible to know through the mind or the speech, because mind only knows objective world, but I had to use the very mind to turn inwards to see what is that because of which even the mind is functioning. So I'm not worried about what the mind knows, because that is part of the knowledge of the external world or objective knowledge. I am looking at, in every knowledge, there is a consciousness part is coming in, and the subject I am, the consciousness that I am, has to join the existence expressed as the thought in the mind, and the thought in the mind is nothing but a reflection of the object outside. So therefore, the consciousness, the subject, and the existence expressed as an object have to become together for me to be conscious of the existence of the thought in my mind, which is nothing but the existence of the relevant object out there. Because the object out there is what I thought in terms of attributive contents, not the dravyam, not the essence I cannot see, only existence part only I can see, because existence part is akhandam. That means it is unbroken. It exists in the form of objects out there, it exists in the form of attributes of the object out there, it exists in the form of a thought that contains the attributes of the object outside, or reflection of the attributes of that. All that has to be understood through proper analysis. So with that clear understanding of the Brahman, now we go into the Mahavakya Vichara, and the Viveka Chudamani takes us in the sloka, the 243, where Tattvamasi statement is being explained here. Tattvamasi is an instruction by the teacher to the student, and the teacher says, you are that. So you has to be understood, and that has to be understood, and how can I be that? That's what essentially simple statement. From the point of simple analysis, we can say what I am looking for is, I am looking for Ananda only, happiness only. So all my pursuits of pravritti and nivritti, trying to gain something or try to get rid of something, is only for what I want is happiness. By trying to gain something, I thought I am going to be happy. By trying to get rid of something, all my sorrows are gone. In that way I am happy. So in both process of pravritti and nivritti, what I am trying to do is achieve happiness. And when I am longing for happiness, and happiness that comes and goes, and therefore I am only experiencing a finite reflective happiness in all that, and therefore I am not happy because I want to be absolutely happy. So my pursuit for happiness continuously goes on, and that is not possible by any pursuits. And therefore Vedanta says you are trying to gain something which you already have. You're trying to solve a problem where there is no really a problem, and this trying to solve a problem where there is no problem has become a problem, and therefore life after life after life I am chasing happiness. And the scripture says Tvam Asi, you are that. You are that what? I am that pure happiness, unbroken and akhanda Ananda Swarupam. You are the very nature of Ananda itself. Logically, I can say the happiness is coming from me. But scripture says not just happiness, but you are the very nature of happiness itself. It's not something that comes and goes. It is your own true nature. And therefore, I had to understand, and that is the Tattvamasi. You are that. You are what you're looking for. What I'm looking for is absolute, uninterrupted, inexhaustible happiness that I want. And scripture says you are that. In the scriptural statement, I am looking for Brahman. Brahman means infiniteness. Infiniteness is Anantam, and Anantameva Anandam. Ananta Swarupam is Anandam. But when we went to Anandamaya Kosha, we know that happiness doesn't come until the mind is calm and quiet. So Anandamaya Kosha expresses itself only when the mind is calm and quiet. That means mind is purified. Whenever I fulfill my desire, in those moments, my mind is calm and quiet, because the agitated mind that is longing for an object or a sense object or some other object that I want. So desire prompted mind is an agitated mind, and when the desire is fulfilled, my mind is calm and quiet, and in those moments the Ananda aspect is getting reflected. Therefore I say I am happy, but I am happy because because is there. Because is what? Because I got this object that I am longing for. The intense desire is, agitations are intense, and when I get the desire is fulfilled, the intensity of quietness is also high. Therefore the happiness is also higher. These are all reflected happiness. Pure Satchidananda reflected in the calm, quiet mind is what I call it happiness for my transactional purposes. But when the mind can be quiet and all the time, prashantam, then continuously the reflection can occur, and the intensity of the happiness is deep. And therefore in the Taittiriya Upanishad says at each level of Ananda there is a gradation of Ananda. One Manushyananda, then the Gandharva Ananda, all the way up to 26 levels, in which one is 100 times more than that. And in the highest level is Prajapati, is the highest happiness, is 10 to the power of 26 times happiness of a human being. And human being, not ordinary human being, a human being who owns the whole world, and who is young enough to digest whatever he eats. And that kind of happy person is 1 unit, and Prajapati is 26 times of that. But also at every level, the scripture also makes a statement. It says that the sotriyasya akamayatasya, so the same happiness at that level can be gained by renouncing, by who doesn't have any desires, that means whose mind is not agitated, and therefore, but who knows the happiness is coming from one's own self, sotriyaha, that means one who has studied the Vedanta and therefore is able to gain that happiness or gain that purity of the mind and knows that happiness is coming from its own self, he also enjoys that happiness. So one way or the best way to enjoy or get the happiness, to reach the highest, where I recognize myself, I am that totality, using the mind only. So for that, mind has to turn inwards and look at my own self and using the scriptural pramana. So here now the Mahavakya is being taught through the Tattvamasi statement, and we take up the sloka, the 243 of the Vivekasudamani, where the Mahavakya Vichara Tattvamasi statement is being analyzed. It says, Tattvam padabhyam abhidhiyamanayoho, Tattvam padabhyam abhidhiyamanayoho, Brahmatmanoho soditayor yadittam, Brahmatmanoho soditayor yadittam, Shrutyatayoho tattvamasiti samyak, Shrutyatayoho tattvamasiti samyak, Ekatvameva pratipadyate muhu, Ekatvameva pratipadyate muhu. Tattvam padabhyam abhidhiyamanayoho. So padabhyam, tattvam, that is tattvamasi statement. Padabhyam, these two are abhidhiyamanayoho. So therefore, there is no, it's not different, these two statements, that and tvam, there is no really difference in these two, because they are trying to point out only one, even though two words are being used as an instruction, because I am looking for something other than myself as though, and therefore the teaching is for the student who is longing for happiness or longing for Brahman or longing for moksha. Moksha means freedom from all limitations. And Brahmatmanoho soditaha, Brahmatmanoho soditayoho tayoho. So that Brahmatmanoho, Brahma Atmanoho, and Brahman and self that I am, this has to be understood as Ekatvameva, only one only. There is no I am and I want to seek Brahman. So how am I seek Brahman? Is it something different from me? And the scripture says, you are that Brahman. So the seeker himself is the sought. So if the seeker himself is the sought, so any seeking for other than sought is essentially going to be failure, because I am trying to seek something what I am not, and therefore the very search for Brahman itself is going to be it becomes useless, because I am trying to gain something what is already I have gained. So what I need is now, if I am trying to gain what I already have, that's called the praptasya praptam. So there are two gains. One is apraptasya praptam and praptasya praptam. Apraptasya praptam is trying to gain what I do not have. So trying to gain I do not have, then work has to be done. So I want to gain something else, so I had to achieve something. I don't have a promotion and I want to gain something other than what it is, what I have. Therefore, I want to, work is to be required. Either work at the body level, or if I have here and I want to achieve going there by I want to be there in another place, then I had to go somehow or other from this place to that place. So either work has to be done at the body level or the mind level or the intellect level, provided if it is something that is other different from me. If it's already something that I have already, then still I am searching for, then it's a question of knowledge only required. What I have and what I am seeking, or what I am seeking is what I already have. If I already have, why should I seek? Because I do not know that I have. Therefore, I need a proper teaching, and that is what essentially scripture says. You are what you are seeking for. I am seeking for what? Not Brahman, not Ishvara, not anything else. What I am seeking for is absolute, uninterrupted, happy, inexhaustible happiness that I want. Inexhaustible happiness is same as Brahman. Why? Because Brahman is infinite and any limitations will cause suffering. Therefore, limitless alone is pure happiness. And scripture says, you are that limitless. That means you are Brahman. Therefore, that is Tvam Asi. I am Brahman. So how can I be infinite? So this doesn't agree with my experience. Therefore, all the experiences are really contradiction to the scriptural statement. Therefore, experience itself is invalidating my pursuit. Therefore, scripture becomes a pramana for me. And therefore, he says, the Shrutyatayoho, you had to follow the scriptural statement, because scripture becomes a pramana. Pramana is something trying to teach me something what I do not know by any other means. Because the pramana means is anadigata, abhadita, artha vishayaka, jnanatvam is pramanam. This is from the Vedanta Paribhasha. So anadigata means that which cannot be known by any other way. So that is what essentially implied. That says, if this is I want to see color, says you only way to see color is you have to use your eyesight and gather the color. I may be able to get a form by touching and all that and integrate all my touching and come up with the form, but I cannot come up with the colors. So Rupam includes not only the form but the colors, and eyes alone are pramanam for the colors. And nose is only pramanam for the smell. So each field is fixed, and therefore it is anadigatam. It cannot be obtained by any other way. Therefore, the for eyesight becomes a pramanam for rupam, the smell, the nose becomes a pramanam. All that is meant by anadigatam. The same way, that which the Brahman cannot be known by any other way, because Brahman is unknowable, as we discussed in the past few talks, where Brahman is not an object for me to know. So the scripture alone will be pointing out, and that's what is being explained here. Therefore, Shrutyatayoho Tattvamasi iti samyak ekatvameva pratipadyate muhuhu. So ekatvam, oneness, is being proposed, and that is essentially to be understood by proper analysis and understanding itself. Here Tattvam Padabhyam. Padam is the word, and we should know what is Padam and Padartham. Padam is the word, Padartham is the essence of the word. So Padartham is the essence and Padam is the word. So if I say there is a Padam, if there is no Padartham, then we have a problem. So if I say ring, ring is a Padam for Padartham. That means a shape of the gold in the form with the ID, OD, all that attributes of the ring, and we say ring is a Padam. Ring is a Padam, means word for Padartham, for that object. And bangle is a Padam for that object. Similarly, every Padam should have an object to which the Padam corresponds. That's called Nama and Rupa. Nama means a name for the object that we identify. Therefore, every Padam has a Padartham, should be there. But if you really go into deeper analysis, we have only Padam, but there is no Padartham. There is no really Dravyam for that Padam. Why? Because when you say the ring is different from a bangle, is different from a bracelet, we have three Padams, but Padartham, there are no three Padarthams there. What is there is only gold, but there is no ring substance, there is no bangle substance, there is no the necklace substance. Therefore, we have only Padam without real Padartham corresponding to that Padam, and that's what is called Mithya. That's how the Upadau, in the Upadi there is no material, real material there of what I am saying. It means what I am calling it as a Padam as the word, there is no real material here. Now, in the Tattvamasi statement, we have two padams. One is Tat and one is Tvam. One is Tvam. Now, what is Padartham in that? What is the essence of Tat and the essence of that? And that's what has to be understood here. So, Tattvam Padabhyam Vidiyamanayoho. It has to be non-difference in these two. Substance is the same. In the ring and the bangle, the padams are there, but Padartham, the essence is same. Gold alone is the Padartham for both the ring and the bangle and the necklace. So, says ring, to teaching of the ring is Tattvamasi. Your ring means you are that. You are that. You are searching for gold, because gold that pervades all the ornaments, but you are looking for a ring substance, but not, there is no ring substance, but you are only gold only. That has to be understood. From gold it came, by gold it is sustained, into gold it goes back. Same way, I had to see what is that from which I came, by which it is sustained, into which goes back. That is my Padartham, and therefore this Tattvam, Tattvam. What is a Padartham for both Tat and Tvam is only Ekatvam. Only oneness is being pointed out, and Ekatvameva Pratipadyate Muhu. Therefore, only oneness is being pointed out in this Tattvamasi statement, and that has to be understood only by Soditayoho, by inquiring into this. Soditayoho Yat Ittam. In this way that we have been discussing for the past few lectures, essentially few talks, that is essentially what is the nature of the Brahman and what is the nature of I, what is the Jiva Swarupam, what is the Ishvara Swarupam, all this being discussed before. So here the Acharya says it is Ittam. In this way that has been talked about, one has to inquire into the seat of inquiry. You have to use, in fact, your mind in order to know what exactly is the Tattvamasi Samyak, that is completely, clearly has to be analyzed using the Buddhi only. We'll continue on this talk in the next talk. Continue on this subject. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.